What factors contributed to Alberta's recent risk of rolling blackouts, and how does the situation reflect on the province's energy policies and the debate over the transition from coal and renewable energy sources?
I mean, this is the consequences of magical thinking. Listen, everyone needs energy, and we like to live in a country where we can pretend that, the wind and the sun can power the world, because we see solar panels and we see windmills, and they're big and expensive, and they turn round and round. It's not true. We're not there yet. And you had, an NDP government which embraced this magical thinking, and then you have a federal liberal government which, pioneered this magical thinking. Hopes and wishes don't power homes. Energy does. You need oil, natural gas, and to an extent coal if it's cheap and available. You could do that. But the failures of, let's say, Canada in the last 10 years to really invest in our energy sector. I mean, we have such a strong potential in the energy sector. Like, there's no one should be having rolling blackouts in Canada. We have more than enough energy. We have more than enough supply to meet the demand, more than enough. But because of our magical thinking policies, we've undercut our own supply and our ability to supply people all over the world. So instead of becoming a net energy exporter, we're reliant on other countries because at the end of the day, people need to turn the lights on. And you can be as liberal, progressive as you want. But if you have kids and they need to eat food or stay warm at night in the Canadian winter, your progressive ideals go out the window pretty quickly when you need to, turn the heaters on. So we're facing the consequences of this, where we don't have enough supply as a country. We have a federal government, which has just termed the phrase winter pollution. Winter pollution is out there, which means people turning on the heat in the winter. And, one of the absurd things about like climate deaths that we track, like we want to reduce the amount of deaths from climate. Over 90% of climate-related deaths are people freezing to death because it's too cold out. People like to pretend that, oh, it gets so hot, all the water evaporates out of your body and you die. That's not it. The vast majority of climate-related deaths are it's too cold, you are poor, so you're making choices between heating and maybe food, and eventually, your pensioner seniors who can't keep up, the heat goes down and they die. These are, the vast majority of climate related deaths. But we've pretended that it's the opposite. We've pretended that climate deaths are actually caused by, people turn their heater on, and then this creates the global warming, which causes a hurricane and then blows everyone into the sea. And it's just not what's happening. So I would call the major culprit of this is magical thinking, because there is no reason in Canada to have rolling blackouts. So there's more than enough supply. There's only 40 million people. Yes, there's demand, and all 40 million people do demand energy. I mean, we have the demand for energy is that of 7+ billion people. Everyone needs it. It's a hard reality of the world. We're having a self-inflicted supply problem, which is a classic under Trudeau, where we should be immune to a refugee crisis. We shouldn't have any immigration crisis. I mean, above us is nothing. It's frozen. There's nothing there. Like, we're gonna what? A bunch of seals are gonna invade us? No. To the left or the west and east, oceans again. Your problem, dolphins? No, they're not going to come. And below us, the richest country in the history of the world. So there's no way we can have an immigration problem. You'd have to create one yourself, like Trudeau did. And with all the energy we have, there's no way we should have an energy problem. Like, we can't have an energy problem unless you create one yourself. So again, this is another self-inflicted wound by Trudeau's Canada. So if we just embrace reality, we'll do a lot better.